Hello everyone, I'm Jen Melody and welcome back. This is going to be my second video in my series where I go through every sketchbook I have, old sketchbook. That is my cat, Kit Kat. Say hello. Okay, so disclaimer, the art in this one is still bad. But you're probably going to be like, why is there such a big gap in quality in this one? Well, I have two sketchbooks that are completely lost. I cannot remember what happened to them. I have a theory that I had a phase where I was like, I gotta get rid of all evidence of my cringe, and I think young me threw them away, which is upsetting because I'm totally against that now. I'm like, keep all your sketchbooks because it shows your progress, but probably middle school / freshman year me was like, ew, go away. So I have like a ton of like Sonic fan, because that's what I was doing in that sketchbook, in those two sketchbooks, was mostly Sonic fan art and first drawings of a lot of my OCs. And some of that evidence is still on my DeviantArt page, which we could do a separate video on that, so you could see some of those drawings of what my art looked like back then, but we're not doing that today. But yeah, a lot of that type of art is now gone, which is sad. So if you're wondering why does your style look so different from one sketchbook to the other, it's because there's two whole sketchbooks that are just gone. But I feel like that era of my art was very much looking at other people's art and like kind of mixing and matching styles and stuff and trying to learn anatomy from YouTube tutorials and stuff. So it was kind of like just trying out other people's techniques, which every artist goes through that. I still do that. I'm still changing all the time, as most artists should. So I didn't really have like a set style back then. This era is what I'm gonna call the era of the marshmallow heads. It's all the fault of this artist called Soproxy. They're gone now from the internet, but I was obsessed with this artist's art style, and they had the chibi like marshmallow square heads, and I was in love with it. Hi, Kit Kat. And I was like, that needs to be my style. So anyway, if you're wondering why everyone has a square marshmallowy head, that's why. So let's actually get into it. Hold on just a second. I'm facing you guys away because the first like inside of the cover page has my full government name on it. So we are not gonna do that. Okay, now that I've gotten past that. I guess that was the date. I forget if that was freshman year of high school or sophomore year, but somewhere in there, that's the era we're in. It must have been freshman because 2016 was, yes. So I feel like this was like the second half of freshman year. It's 2016, it turned 2016 in the second half of 8th grade. So anyway, sorry, moving on. Apparently it was 2017. I think I was trying to draw, this is when I started using Pinterest for the first time, and for references. So I feel like I went from like just random artist deviants pages to like use as reference, and now I'm using Pinterest most of the time. I think I found a picture of a jazz dancer and just drew them. This is not a particular person. So that's cool. Also, a running theme from the last sketchbook is the graphite smug. So I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do about it. Okay, so this is the first drawing of my OC Dewey. Dewey is still a character I draw. I actually recently redesigned them because I hadn't been drawing them for a really long time, and I was like, no, I remember loving this little guy and I want him back. So, oh my god, I love him. He was from this story I had that I don't have anymore. He's now in a separate world. But it was a story about like these two realms, and one was the dream realm, one was the nightmare realm. And he was a monster in the nightmare realm, but he was like super bubbly and cute and energetic, and he still is. But he looks way different. He has a way different outfit now and hairstyle. But oh my god, look at his little Okay, and then that's more of him in different poses. The graphite smudge is illegal here, but those eyes, that's definitely Steven Universe inspired. I was definitely going through a Steven Universe phase in the sketchbook. But, oh my god. Jeez. Okay. This is Mika from, or full name Michaela from Seraph of the End. This era, I was in the beginning of my anime phase. This was like the third anime I ever watched. Oof. But I was obsessed with this like gay vampire. So, yeah, and I have a feeling in the next page, yeah. So the reason I'm covering this side of the page is because it shows my friend that I'm not friends with anymore again, but that's me, and that's Michaela and Yuichiro, which I really like the expression I put, like, look at that. The show was this, honestly, Seraph of the End was queer baiting, I'll say it. The mangaka was so obvious with the fact that they wanted these two to be together, but just couldn't because Japan. So, me and my friend used to like ship this so hard. And everyone who watched the show shipped this so hard. So anyway, I kind of like the pose, other than like this foot looking broken, but like I kind of like the pose and the expressions, they're cute. I don't mind this sketch, even though like I still don't have like great skills in this sketchbook, I do find it cute. I think that was me. It's supposed to be interpreting me, but I don't know. I guess I was trying to draw a shadow here. I don't know why I drew myself in the skirt because I never wore skirts. The jacket is accurate though because I wore a fleece jacket all the time and I don't know why for the longest time. So these are some of my OCs. That's Dewey up there, and that, oh boy, let me explain. That is my favorite OC ever, Wick. He doesn't look like this anymore. He looks way different. He's been in like 3 universes. Listen, I'm still revising my OCs and stuff, but he's in a totally different universe now. But he was one of the, I think the second OC I ever made, and I love him the most to this day. And they're boyfriends. There was like a gap in time where like I stopped drawing Dewey and they weren't together anymore, and he was in a totally separate universe where he had a wife instead, and he's bisexual. But then I was like, no, I gotta get them back together again. They cannot be separate. So anyway, they're boyfriends. That's all you need to know. Her name was, I think at the time, her name was Pastel, but then I changed it to Marietta for some reason, not realizing that's an actual name for a city, but I named her Marietta later, but right now it's Pastel, and, her name was Amber, and she gets a redesign in the sketchbook that, like, sticks way more, but that's what she looked at, like, at the time. Very long legs, but yeah, that's her. This is Jacuzzi Splot from Baccano. I guess I had just watched Baccano. Yeah, I mean his arm looks broken, but not terrible. That's a good show. If you haven't watched Baccano, watch Baccano. That is Willow. She was my first OC I ever made in those 2 sketchbooks that are gone now. But I don't draw her anymore. She's one of the dead ones that I just have no interest in reviving, at least right now. And she is definitely inspired by Pearl from Steven Universe with her clothing. Not necessarily her like hair or her face, but her clothing for sure. And that, his nickname was Vin, but his full name like was Vinrold, and he was supposed to be like he's another one of my OCs, and he was supposed to be like this robot assassin, as you can see from like his leg. Yeah, I thought he was cool, but he's also one of the ones that I've left dead because it's kind of, even in his world that he was in, the concept didn't make sense. And then this is just a smudge page, I guess. It looks like I tried something here and then failed, and then got discouraged and gave up. I think it was because of the side profiles. At the time, I did not know how to do good side profiles. So classic. If you know that song, the baby is so classic. Da, 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 da. That song. I don't know. I just thought it was Wix and Dewey's song. Like it was their theme song, their ship song. No, I kind of like. Even though it's super smudgy, I think this is cute. Like, look, that was their. He was like super like timid, and he was really energetic and flirty, and that was their dynamic. And I think it's cute. I think they're cute. Okay, so like, notice how he has eye pupils here and he doesn't here. So at the time, Wick's story was that he was like a normal kid, like demigod. He was a demigod in the nightmare realm, right? And his father, who's the god of nightmares, ended up controlling his mind, and he became a villain, like a mind-controlled villain, and that's why his eyes are black. But anyway, so he was a villain in my story, and he kind of like recruited these like kids to be part of his team, and they joined for their own reasons, right? And but he treats them like they're his own kids, and I wanted them to be like a villain found family. So that's Vin from before. Notice, I'm sorry, I'm just doing this now. I drew hair so similar. That like Tumblr swoop hair, if you know what I mean. Anyway, that's Vin. That was Quentin, who was Amber's older brother. I drew Quentin a lot. He became one of my favorites, like Wick. And they're also the closest, these two. So Quentin, and then that's Marco. And he's Vin's cousin, and he's like kind of like the leader of their like little minion team. So yeah. Anyway, that's them. Oh my god, there's so many OCs. These were Asher and Elliot, and Asher and Elliot were imaginary friends that lived in the dream realm, and Asher is Amber's imaginary friend. He's like a human dragon hybrid, and Elliot is a Neko girl. Remember when I said I started watching anime during this period? Anyway, she was a Neko girl, and she was Pastel, or at the time, but also renamed Marietta's imaginary friend. And they were also a couple. I really like shipping my OCs at the time. So that's why he's blushing, because he's in love with her. Her design changes a lot over the course of the sketchbook, but yeah. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay, this was the start of my Mystic Messenger hyperfixation. Yay! I actually have redrawn this fan art multiple times just to like, whenever I need to remind myself how far I've come. But this "Marry Me at the Space Station" is a quote from the game. If you don't know, Mystic Messenger is an Otome game. I still like Otome games to this day. This was 707, one of the love interests in the game, and your MC character. And I drew little star constellations around them because he loves space. So, yeah. I don't know. Mystic Messenger still kind of makes me... still gets me sometimes to this day. At the time, 707 was my favorite, but now it's Jum and Han, so... And then, of course, because this is really bad paper, I don't know where I got the sketchbook. It was probably a gift. But the color pencil got all over the place. So it looks like I was just drawing random bodies here, but it got absolutely ruined. Moving on. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Okay. Ooh. I think this was, like, supposed to be, like, the final battle between Wick and Amber. Amber was the main character of this world, by the way. And she was, like, the hero in the dream realm, trying, like, she was like a human from Earth, but all the like kids from that were like dreaming that night got like trapped in the nightmare realm, and it's a whole thing. I don't want to explain my whole OC lore, especially since this world is dead and doesn't exist anymore in my brain. But this was supposed to be the final battle between Wick and her, and honestly, it's not that bad. It's kind of cool looking. Here's me experimenting with a different head shape. That's nice. And different hair, different way of drawing hair. It looks like I was trying to redesign Quentin, but I don't think this design stays for long. But yeah. Oh, here's me going. And then I was like, I'm pretty sure when I drew this, it was because my friend at the time, different friend from the one I was just talking about, was like, bro, you have like same face syndrome. And I was like, what's that? And she was like, well, it's when you like draw heads and faces the same exact way every time. Why don't you like draw different eye shapes and different like head shapes and stuff? And I was like, oh. And then it was hard to do. And then I was like, ugh, I'm going back to drawing marshmallows. Because I feel like back then when people told me like art advice, I was like, oh my god, it's hard. I'm not gonna try and like improve again until like 4 months later. So anyway, moving on. It looks like I tried doing line art on here and then gave up. That's nice. That's also him, I think, I was trying to figure out his like powers, because he had like nightmare, dark powers. So yeah. Oh, and then there's me, I think, just solidifying his powers and what he looks like and his age and stuff like that. But his full name was Quentin Sterith, which is cool. Oh, I could tell you here, this is art block, where I just got frustrated and never finished anything, so that's lovely. More, yep. So interesting to look at. Love that. Love art block. Oh, that went on for a while. I just was frustrated. Anyways, there's when I got out of art block. It looks like I drew this for DeviantArt. Love that. Probably for that like profile place where like you can write down all your interests and stuff. So that I guess that was a portrait of me. I did wear a lot of plaid at the time and leggings, so that makes sense. And I think I really liked owls, so that's why I have like feathers and stuff. My favorite animal at the time, I think, was owls. So yeah, I'm just also not that skinny. I don't know. Why am I lying to myself? Anyway. Ooh, this pose is not bad. It was probably a reference, that's why. Which is what you should do. Always use a reference if you need to. But yeah, that's kind of cool, not gonna lie. Okay, here I think I was giving Wick a different hairstyle, so I drew that. He still has the same outfit, not for the most part though. And then I also was giving Willow a new hairstyle and outfit, so that's cool. Still very Pearl inspired with the ballet outfits and stuff, but very cool, very cool. And it's colored in, something I never do. I should have been proud of myself. Oh, here, I know where this was. I remember I was in a restaurant and me and my brother got bored, so we were playing Hangman in my sketchbook. Very cool, very cool. Notice how all of them are nerdcore. One Punch Man, The Blob is a video game. Thomas Sander. Does this mean there's Sanders size fan art in this sketchbook? You'll just have to wait and see. Bendy and the Ink Machine, that was my brother. My brother had a Bendy and the Ink Machine phase. And Lapis Lazuli, Steven Universe. We both watched Steven Universe at the time, but I definitely was more obsessed with it. This is Amber. Amber, this is the design she had all the way forward. So she's always in this outfit for the rest of the time I draw her, and this hairstyle. So I quite like it. I actually think it's nice. I don't mind it. This foot though is complete. I did not know how to draw feet ever. Or hands. Feet and hands were a struggle for me. That's okay. Here the color pencil rubbed off, so I just used it as like a test page for color pencils. I remember drawing this in the car, which maybe is why it's so lightly drawn, because I'm sure the car was like, because my mom had a minivan. But this is Wick. Hold on, sorry. I think it's like his dark powers, or his father's dark powers taking over him and controlling his mind. Very sad, very angsty. And this is a random drawing of the Robins. I'm kind of a casual fan of specifically Bat Family stuff, I don't love Batman by himself, but I love the Robins and his dynamics with the Robins and the Robins' dynamics with each other. My favorite, as you can tell because he's in the middle, is Damian Wayne. He's sitting on a Robin thing in a batarang. That's kind of cool. Poor Jason and Tim, though, I think I butchered. Dick is okay over there, but oh boy. I still like this drawing to this day. I think it's cute. I just really like Dick. Sorry, not Dick. Sorry. Wick and Dewey. Now that I'm thinking about it, would that be their ship name? That is unfortunate. No, it has to be like. Oh, I don't want to think about it. Their ship name would have to be like those ship names like in Hazbin Hotel where it's like Radio Apple or Radio Static, where it's like things they like mashed together and then it's cute. Anyway, I think I like the tree behind them and the fact that I colored it in, and like the tree's branches are hugging them together. That's adorable. I love them. This is a drawing I'll still stand behind. This, I think I was just drawing random dance poses. So this was from Pinterest. So this was a ballerina. I think that's a contemporary dancer. Oh, that's cool. Okay, so here I was experimenting with pencil and like different pencil like shades, I guess, of darkness. So, and then I drew in the hair with like just little lines. That's kind of cool of me that I tried something new. So that's, I think I was drawing all my OCs like that. So this is Amber. And here I finally rename her and I redesign her. So this is a different outfit for her. But that's Marietta. I think I stick with this outfit. Maybe not that hair, but I stick with this outfit like for the rest of the time I draw her. This is Asher, and it looks like I redesigned him as well. I actually don't mind the hair I gave him. I think that's kind of a cool silhouette. Not gonna lie. The outfit's terrible, though. That's Elliot. Changed her outfit, changed her hair. Not my favorite for her, but anyway. Elliot. Rubius. Is this the... No, my first drawing of Rubius is in one of the lost sketchbooks I had, but... I have a friend who, like, this was, like, her favorite of my OCs. But she was an imaginary friend of Quentin's. She was, like, a vampire imaginary friend. And I believe I keep this outfit for her. But, Quentin, once again. Vin. I changed his outfit a little bit. And he has, like, a robotic eye now, as well as a robotic leg. But Vin... and I changed his hair, I believe. And then this is, I kept Marco's outfit, but I think I changed his hair a bit. But that's Marco. And then I started to do the same thing with these, but then I wrote unfinished there. I lost motivation. That's Wick, Willow, and Dewey right there. I think that was all the seeds I had at the time. And then it looks like I tried to do something similar, but without the line art. So, I don't mind it. These kind of look cool. It's just, of course, the graphite's everywhere. I also don't know why I drew Dewey next to Marco and Vin. They, like, literally don't talk in the story. Because Dewey, spoiler alert for my story at the time that doesn't exist anymore, he, in this story, died very early on. So, oh my god. Okay. Notice how... all these Shadow the Hedgehog sketches look so much better than my rest of my sketches in this sketchbook. It's because I was drawing Sonic the Hedgehog so often that I got to the point where I didn't even need to look at a reference for him anymore. Anyway, look how chunky I made his shoes. They look so good. Yeah. I love that little expression for him. That's cute. This, I think, is based off of the cover of, or at least one of his iconic poses from the actual Shadow the Hedgehog video game. That's cute. Oh, hashtag emotional trauma. Am I right? Anyway, yeah, this is also based off of a pose from the games, probably too. Very cool. Oh, more Shadow. Can you tell who my favorite Sonic character is? This doesn't change. Throughout the rest of my sketchbooks on this journey, you will notice that Shadow the Hedgehog makes an appearance in all of them. Yeah, that's cute. Didn't know how to draw guns. That's cute too. I like that. I like drawing Sonic the Hedgehog characters with expressions. They were made for funky expressions. Yeah, I like that one. I like the motion I did in that one. All right. Oh, and there's more Sonic the Hedgehog. It's just not Shadow. Here I was trying to draw Sonic the Hedgehog characters as humans, or like Jijinka, I guess. And this is a theme you will see multiple times where I do this, because I think it's fun, and I always like view the Sonic characters differently over time as humans. So yeah, that was how I viewed Sonic at the time. This was Tails, I believe. So you're wondering why there's thicker lines, because this Sharpie ran out of ink and I only had the thicker ones left. But that's Tails. And it bled through, so I couldn't draw on this page. And then it looks like I tried to draw Knuckles, and then, yeah, I didn't like it, so I didn't finish it. Yeah, bled through. Oh, and then I redid him, so that's nice. Okay, so I did for once be like, I'm gonna redo it again. So that's Knuckles. More bled through page. Amy Rose. With my Sonic humans, I don't try and copy the female characters' outfits that they already have, because that's like a cop-out. That's too easy. I like to draw like original outfits that they like wear as humans. Another bled through page. And it looks like I tried doing Rouge and then lost motivation and gave up. So I lost motivation fairly easily back then. Yeah, another bled through page. Here I was trying to figure out how I wanted Wick's father to look like, because I knew he was a god, but I didn't know if I wanted to make him like inhuman looking or not. So I don't go with this design, but at the time this is what he looked like, and I just called him Fear. But eventually his name became Phobos, and I still draw this character to this day. He just has a way different relationship. I just added him to my new story that Wick is in. Their relationship is way different now. It's less abusive. And he has a totally different personality. He's not like a villain anymore. But this is Hope. She was the god of dreams. She definitely doesn't keep this design. And it's way different now. And this is little baby Willow. And she's Willow's mom. So Wick and Willow are demigod cousins. That's them as babies. Aren't they cute? They're so cute. That's totally based off of an anime character I found on Google Images. My apologies. Sorry if that's a little too close to an image that exists. Let me remind you, I was a freshman in high school. But yeah, that's definitely... I swear to God, if it's based... Oh my God, I just had a thought. I swear to God, if it's based off of that one bird character from Monster Musume, I'm gonna quit. I'm gonna quit for real, because I could see myself back then being like, oh, this bird monster girl looks so cute, I'm gonna draw that, not realizing what Monster Musume is about. I was too innocent back then. I hadn't discovered ecchi yet. Anyway, this is Phobos, or Fear at the time. Again, just drawing him, trying to get a handle on him. Okay, that's their like actual relationship dynamic. He wants to control him. Okay. I really had a fixation on puppet string. I still do. I still love puppet motifs, puppet string themed drawings. That's why I love Hasbro Hotel so much. Anyway, oh, sorry. This is the trio, the villain trio, villain minion, I guess, trio. Quentin, he's over it. Ooh, I kind of like that. I like the motion I had with this. I feel like this is kind of similar to Adventure Time a little bit, but that's Vin, and then that's Marco just hanging out there. Okay, so it looks like it's unfinished, but this was supposed to be me, another self-portrait of me, and all my interests at the time surrounding me. So Sonic, definitely still a big one. Pokemon, I was watching X, Y, and Z. I was more of a Pokemon anime fan than I was a video game fan. I'm lying there. I don't know why I put Zelda down, because I've never, like, I love watching my dad play Zelda, but I never played it myself, so that's me being a liar. And probably wanting to, I had a hard time making friends at the time, and the friends that I had were gamers, and I was probably going to be like, I was trying to be like, yeah, I played legit Zelda, because I had nothing to say for myself other than, like, I really like Sonic the Hedgehog, and then I knew that they hated Sonic the Hedgehog, because Sonic the Hedgehog was in its dark era at the time, where, like, everyone was like, oh, Sonic the Hedgehog's bad, all the video games are bad, and so, like, he had one game that was bad in 2006, and it ruined his reputation. Anyway, moving on, Steven Universe, definitely loved Steven Universe at the time. Voltron, oh my god, I had the biggest Voltron hyperfixation ever, and for what? It ended so bad, it was so bad. Anyway, Star vs. Forces of Evil, that's accurate, I love Star. Again, another cartoon that ended with the worst ending ever. Code Geass, that is still to this day my favorite anime ever. I love Code Geass. And it looks like I was listing all the books I really liked at the time. So Harry Potter, yikes! Sorry, I didn't know that J.K. Rowling was a TERF at the time. My bad. I don't think it was public knowledge yet. Warriors, of course. I think I was coming out of the Warriors phase, though, by this point. So there's, like, literally no Warriors fan art in here, thankfully. Bones. I loved the Bones graphic novels. I need to reread those at some point, because I remember Bones being so epic. Magisterium. That's, like, a random, like, series no one knows about but me. But it's a very cool Harry Potter knockoff. If you are like, I want to read something similar to Harry Potter, go read Magisterium. And Amulet is another graphic novel series I really liked at the time. But Bones is it. Looks like I was watching Attack on Titan, so as you are men. I never finished Attack on Titan, though. I need to, because everyone was like, it becomes a masterpiece. But I just couldn't get through season 2 at the time. But I should bite the bullet and just watch the rest of Attack on Titan. Okay, so here I was trying to figure out all my OC's, like, powers. So Amber could summon weapons from nowhere, and that was what I thought her sword was gonna look like. I guess Marietta could enter people's minds. Willow could bend dream magic, which makes no sense. What does that mean? It literally, I was like, oh, like, benders can bend fire and water. She could just bend dream energy, I don't know. And then nightmare magic bending, I guess. I was so creative as a child. Oh, you look so angry. That's so funny. More Quentin sketches. I loved my way of drawing fists at the time. This is my way of avoiding drawing fingers. I just hope everyone knows. This is, like, I think me trying to draw, like, different body shapes, except I'm failing. I will continue to fail. Elliot! Okay, I think this is a cute design for her. I don't mind this. Very cute. And this is another, I think I was, again, drawing dance poses from Pinterest. That's cool, even though the hand is very broken, but very nice. This is the first ever post I made on Instagram. This is when I made the jump from DeviantArt to Instagram. So the first ever art post I made on Instagram was with Dewey dying in Wick's arms, which was a canon event in my world. That happened. I feel like that's so iconic of me. I feel like that's so on brand for me for the first post when I was a teenager to be my character's dying. Anyway, this was definitely Pinterest bases that I was referencing. Just so we're clear, this is not me, because I was like, I needed to learn how to draw people sitting down. I had such a hard time drawing other poses that weren't standing there. So that's Wick looking like an evil boy. on a chair. Practice. What was I practicing? I don't know, because it's just someone standing there, but apparently it's practice. And this is Roman from Sanders Sides. The Sanders Sides hyperfixation begins. Love that. Cute. He also like smudged all over this page, but it's okay. I loved Sanders Sides. Oh, look at Patton. That's Patton. This was when they got, so this was, I was deep into it because this was when they changed their outfits. So I guess I didn't draw fan art until that, because I was there for Sanders Sides since like the first couple episodes. I've been there, and I waited those, like, I forget how many years it took Thomas Sanders to release a new episode, but it took like forever. It took like 3 or 4 years or something like that. I waited patiently, and I love the new episode, Thomas, just so you know. But yeah, this is Patton from Sanders Sides. Bro, that's... Welcome to my crazy mind. I'm insane. Okay, girl. That's me and my OC Wick interacting. Very nice. Oh, and then here, my friend that I'm not friends with anymore suggested that Wick's powers look more like goo, because I named him Wick because he's like, oh, he's the light in the darkness or whatever. And I've kept that name because I actually really like the name Wick. But she's like, oh, his powers could look like candle wax. And I was like, so real. So yeah, that's me drawing his powers like candle wax. Look at me pretending I was gonna do line art. Haha, I was lazy. This is cute. I like this. It's a little drawing of Elliot and Asher being cute. But I clearly still don't know how to do side profiles, especially in that marshmallow head style. It's very hard to do side profiles. I was like, how does hair work to the side? I don't know. So, yeah. This, I think here, I was trying to like draw all of the characters that are related to each other together. So there's Marco and Vin, they're cousins. I don't know why there's a random tree branch there, but looks like I was drawing his, it looks like changed him from having a robotic leg to a robotic arm because it would be more visible, which I think is a good choice. And the fingers, that's cool. Yeah, that's Marco and Vin. That's Quentin and Amber. It looks like I was trying to work out a different hairstyle and outfit for Quentin, but I know I don't stick with this. But yeah, they are brother and sister. Willow and Wick are cousins, but they hate each other, so there's that. Okay, I just found out that day that Shadow the Hedgehog was going to be a playable character in Sonic Forces, and then Sonic Forces turns out to be a very mid game. But at the time, I was very excited because Shadow the Hedgehog hadn't been playable for years, okay? So do not judge me. But yeah, that's Shadow. Oh boy. Okay, and then this is Quentin again. This design I stick with for like a very, very, very long time until this character switches universes, and then after that I do not draw him again. But this is what he looked like for a very long time, and I actually really like this. I like how I drew the cardigan. But yeah, he's an Angie boy. And this is the first drawing for a universe that I called My Dead Friend Dominic. It's about like this girl who accidentally summons a ghost into her college dorm. So this is Dominic. He died from suicide in 1994, but I changed the way he dies like 5 different times. So this is not what he ends up. And I've not drawn these characters in a very long time, but they're not out of the question for me. I might revive them again one day. I just taken a break from them. This is what Dominic looked like at the time. Very cute. I liked him. And then this is Madison, the girl that summons him. And just a random drawing of Wick. I was still trying to figure out his powers, but I do end up going with the like candle wax goo thing. Oh, and here is Amber killing Wick. Wick does, in this universe, die at the end of his story. And the universe he lives in now, he does not. But that's what's happening in this. This I drew for Halloween. I thought it would be fun to draw Wick and Dewey to the song Thriller. And they're like scaring the children in the nightmare realm. Very cute. I was not good at line art at the time. I feel like all my drawings at the time that had line art were very stiff. But, ooh, that's a fun drawing of Rubius. Probably who just sucked blood from someone. This is cool. I like the way I drew his Asher's wings. He needs to get out of that stupid outfit. But, and it looks like I changed his hair a little bit, which, doesn't look as cool as his other hair. But, oh well, and his eyes are kind of neat. But, yeah, very nice. This is Elliot, in a, oh my god, in a completely disjointed, broken pose, but whatever. Aw, that's a cute pose of Vin. I like that. Yeah. I drew fists weird, but other than that, it's very cute. And here, I think I was experimenting with putting Vin, not making Vin an assassin and putting him in a completely different outfit, but then I was like, meh, I don't like that. I think I pitched it to a friend and they were like, nah, I like their other outfit better. So I was like, okay. Here I was watching Noragami for the first time, still in my top 10 of favorite animes. I love Noragami, and I was very fixated on Yato's eyes, how they drew his eyes. They were so blue and so pretty. But yeah, so I drew Yato, but like with his blue eyes. And they bled through, but that's okay. Here I drew the event where Madison summoned Dominic, but I didn't know how to draw a Ouija board in the correct position, so it kind of looks weird. But other than that, this is cool. Yeah, I don't hate the drawings in this. This is Willow. I think I gave her a different, like, skirt. I gave her a skirt instead of shorts or whatever. Still looking like Pearl, though, with her ballet outfit. And this is the last page. This is the sad backstory of Quentin and Amber. Of course they have a tragic backstory. All my OCs at the time had a sad, tragic backstory. And nothing, it depends on the story, but, and for one of my stories in particular now, that hasn't changed. Recently, my sister said, wow, you're really mean to your OCs, and I was like, thank you. Thank you very much for saying that. Anyway, what hasn't changed is that I still love drawing my characters crying. And with that, we are done. I hope y'all have a wonderful day. This has been the second video. I will see you again with my third sketchbook. Bye-bye.